What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another morning of Read Rich and Righteous. We're reading Rich and Righteous Spiritual Secrets to Mastering Money, Manifestation in Your Mind. It's been a blessed journey. We've been here since mid-November, November 15th to be exact. And we've been reading about 4 to 8 pages every single day from about 8:30 to 9:15, 9:30. Sometimes we go short, sometimes we go long. It depends on how the spirit is moving. But we are here to attune our mind state to a mind state of abundance to make sure that we don't tap into the collective consciousness, which is talking about recession, scarcity, and poverty consciousness. And so this has been a blessing to pour into our cup first before we go out into the world. We've been exploring the principle of tithing your time. And since we know that the greatest currency and energy is in our body, right? We want to start trying to tithe our time. And so if you're awake for 16 hours, then tithing your time would be 96 minutes. So we spend about an hour here together, connecting with our creator, just in the same way you stay connected to Wi-Fi, the same way you plug your phone in to charge. We're doing that here and now at the beginning of our day. And I know some of you have already woken up and done your meditations, your prayers, your devotionals, whatever it is that you do to connect with your source and your creator, whatever you call it. All right. So happy to have you here. We only have 3 days left. Today, tomorrow, what is today? Today is Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday. And then the last chapter, the last reading for this read of Rich and Righteous is on Monday. I'm thinking I'm still waiting to hear back from Ash Cash to see if we're going to be able to do an Abundance is Your Birthright interview. And then on Tuesday of next week, or once we're done, I think I may open it up for feedback. Feedback. I'm not sure how to facilitate that unless we go on Zoom. I'm not sure how to facilitate that feedback to hear from folks and how this process, how this reading has transformed them. We may have to go on Zoom so I can pull people up on stage so that they can share. I'll be figuring out the technology in regards to that and just creating a space for us to share how this reading, this full reading of the book has impacted you and renewed your mind. Scripture says, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. So with that, we're going to start today's reading. Today we are on page 377. Yes, please go like and share this video. Go like and share this video so that we can crack these algorithms and break these codes. We are on page 377. Receiving is a skill. Receiving is a skill. I know that as children of God, we are naturally by default great givers. We are great givers. And in some cases, we're actually over givers. As children of God, we are actually over givers. But it's actually not over giving. It's the fact that we aren't receiving at the level of our giving. We haven't learned to receive at the level of our giving. So once we figure that out, then it allows us to continue to give. Our desire is to give, and give as big and as great as we possibly can. But we have our receiving has to be proportional to our giving. Otherwise, we get burned out, and otherwise we get burned out because it's not reciprocal. All right. So we are on page 377. If you're joining us for the first time, we're reading Rich and Righteous Spiritual Secrets of Mastering Money, Manifestation in Your Mind. If you would like a copy of the book, you can go to moneyandmanifestation.com. That's moneyandmanifestation.com. If you go to amazon.com, it's $100 for one book. But if you go to moneyandmanifestation.com, you'll get 5 copies of the book. Yes, 5 copies of the book, plus the rituals workbook, right? Which are all the exercises at the end of each chapter, and you'll get the audio book. Now, why would I give you 5 copies of the book? You'll actually understand that a little bit better here as we read this chapter on receiving is a skill. The reason you're not receiving at the level that you desire is because you're not giving, right? You're not giving proportional, right? So to stimulate your personal economy, well, you have to give. We talked about that yesterday. If you are in this temporary state of lack, the way out of it is not immediately to receive, it's actually to give, right? And we talked about the homeless man who, with the squeegee, who at the red light or at the gas station just starts giving by washing your windows, even if you haven't asked, unfortunately, because he knows that's what's going to stimulate his personal economy. And he probably has better results by giving first than just asking to receive, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing that. Okay. So let's get into this muscle development. Receiving is a skill. See, your God-given nature whew, your God-given nature is to give. Why? Because that is how God operates. Yesterday, remember, I said God doesn't need anything from you. So God is not the best receiver. God is not the best receiver because you can't give anything to God. God is all there is. But we, in this physical form, in this earthly experience, we actually have to learn how to receive so that we can keep giving. God is not a receiver, really. Oh, God receives my prayers. God receives my tithes. No, God doesn't receive anything. God is all there is. How can you give to something that is? How can you give to something that already just is everything? You can't. But given that we are little gods, right? Lowercase g's, we actually have to develop the skill set of receiving. Okay. We have to develop the skill set of receiving so that we can continue to give at a godly level. Okay. So, yes, welcome. Anybody who's new, you're catching us on the tail end. But the good news is that once we finish reading the book, because we only have 3 days left, once we finish reading the book, we're going to take a pause and we're actually going to do some marketing. And we're going to invite people collectively into this space so that instead of just 600, excuse me, just I want to celebrate that on average, we've been having around 600 people. It's not just 600 people. We are transforming lives. We're doing more work than a church does. Okay. We're doing more work every single weekday than most churches do in a long time. Right. That would be 5 church services, basically. All right. So we're doing some real work here. So I believe that this work needs to expand. The fact that some of you have been here since the beginning, every single day, I know that there's something powerful here. Even as the writer of the book, okay, I don't consider myself the author. I'm the writer of the book. This book was divinely downloaded to me and through me. Every time I've read it almost 10 times now, and every time I get something new. I get something new. So we know that the subconscious mind is reprogrammed by repetition. And so we're going to continue to read the book over and over and over again. But we're going to take a little break and we're going to come back at the end of March or early April and start all over again. Okay. And start all over again. And based on where you are in your journey from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness, you will see and hear the readings differently. It's like when you heard a song from high school and you like, that's what that song is talking about. What was it the Kelly Price song? They was like, I thought that was a love song, but it was really about cheating. Like when you elevate in your maturity and level of consciousness, you start to hear old stuff differently. Right? Y'all know what I'm talking about? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? What song is that? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So each time you read this book, right, um it will land differently for you based on where you are in your journey from poverty consciousness to wealth consciousness. All right, cool. So we are on page 377. Everybody type 377. We're on page 377. Yes, go ahead and like and share this video. Normally I ask later on as we get going, but if we can get more people in here today by sharing it earlier, please go ahead and like and share this video. We have almost 300 people on YouTube, about 120 likes right now, and about 136 people on Instagram now. So yes, hit that heart, hit that airplane button on Instagram. And if you're on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Instagram. If something happens on Instagram and you can no longer hear me, just go over to YouTube. If something happens on Instagram and you can no longer hear me, just jump over to YouTube. I will restart on Instagram, but just go over to YouTube. All right. So 377. Okay. Receiving is a skill. The scripture for the day. Therefore, I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. Mark 11:24. If you are not receiving all that you desire in life, you likely have a receiving problem, not a giving problem. Luke 6:38 demonstrates this universal law of giving and receiving when it says, give and you will receive. Your gift will return to you in full, pressed down, shaken together to make room for more, running over, and pour it into your lap. The amount you give will determine the amount you get back. Many people are overgivers, and that is what keeps them poor financially. They believe that as they give, they shall receive. So they keep giving more and more, but they don't realize that they must also be open to receiving. You tithe at church, you volunteer, you help your family, you overcommit at work, or you try to be super mom. Giving is good, but overgiving is when you give more than you are receiving. That always leads to burnout, emptiness, frustration, and resentment. God is always trying to give to you, but many givers try to store up the goodwill that they've earned by doing God's will for some heaven after earth when they die. Wow. Many givers try to store up the goodwill that they've earned by doing God's will for some heaven after earth when they die. So some people give in such a way where they're like, no, I don't need to receive nothing now here on earth. I'm going to get all mine after I die when I'm in heaven. But when you truly understand what heaven is not some place that you go to after you die. You realize that you were meant to bring heaven on earth as it is in heaven. Heaven is the greatest good that we can see for ourselves and others here right now in our mind, and earth is our material experience. Heaven is our mental experience of life. Earth is our material experience of life. This is why some people can experience hell on earth. They can experience hell on earth because it can be mental and material. The scripture says on earth as it is in heaven in Matthew 6:10. The kingdom of heaven is here and now within you. The cycle of giving and receiving is an unbreakable universal law, but you have to participate in both acts. You have to participate in both acts. As intentional as you are about giving, you have to be equally intentional about receiving. Giving feels good to you as a child of God. It is your default nature and state. As Acts 20:35 states, it is more blessed to give than to receive. We know that as children of God. Okay? But it does not, we're at the top of page 378 now. But it does not acknowledge the receiving part of the equation, which allows you to continue giving more and more and more. Though it may sound counterintuitive, listen very carefully. It may sound counterintuitive. The way you give more is to first receive more so that you can give more. Oh my goodness. The way to give more is to first receive more so that you can give more. That is one of the clear distinctions between the righteous and those who are not righteous. We as a righteous, we receive to give, whereas others receive only for their own selfish motives. So we're not receiving just for ourselves. We're learning how to receive so that we can give at a greater level. Is this making sense? When we don't open ourselves to receive, we rob someone else of the great feeling we get when we give our gift. So some of us, we do good in the world, and then somebody tries to give to us. They try to bless us. And we're like, no, it's okay. No, I don't need any of that. I don't need any help. I don't need your money. No, go ahead and keep that. We're trying to store up some goodwill with God. But you block somebody from giving to you, you're stopping them from feeling the same feeling that you feel when you give to other people. You sitting here struggling with 10 grocery bags trying to get up to your apartment, and somebody offers you help and you're like, no, I got it. Thank you though. I appreciate you. Blessings to you. We say it's a blessing to be a blessing, and you are cutting off your own blessings. You are cutting off that person from the good feeling. Actually, you're cutting off both yourselves from experiencing what it means to bless. You're not good, family. You got 10 grocery bags with eggs at the bottom. You about to drop them all. You're not good. But you want to look like you just got it all taken care of. You got it all figured out. And you cut people off from who are willing to help you, hold the door in that moment, help you carry those bags up. It's some genuine men out there. They're not trying to hit on you, boo. They're just trying to help you because you look like you in need in the moment. He's not trying to get your number. He literally just trying to help you in the moment. All right. Oh man. When we don't open our when we don't open ourselves up to receive, we rob someone else of the great feeling we get when we give our gift. Perhaps it will be easier to receive if we define receiving as allowing someone else to give their gift to us rather than defining it just as us getting. So rather than thinking of receiving as, oh, I'm just getting something from somebody, how about we define receiving as allowing someone else to give their gift? I'm simply allowing someone else to give their gift. Maybe that will change the way you receive. Receiving is not a sign of weakness or lack of capability. Again, thinking about the 10 grocery bags, receiving is not a sign of weakness or lack of capability. It is not, family. It is an awareness of who you are, what your unique gift is, and a demonstration of focus and trust in God that you don't have to do it all on your own. Now, I know some of you have been burned by people in your past, and therefore you don't trust anybody. And so, since you don't trust anybody, you try to do everything on your own. And you're like, I'm not receiving from anybody because when I receive somebody, it opens me up to them. And I've been hurt when I've opened myself up to people in the past. So I'd rather not receive anything from anybody because I don't want to be hurt or burned. But the reality is that you cannot get through this life by yourself. So you have to learn how to receive. Now, your discernment about who you receive from, that's critical. I agree with you. You have to be more discerning about who you're receiving from and what you're actually receiving. Now, let me change that language. It's not you. We, myself included, have to be more discerning about who we are receiving from and what we are receiving from them and what their intention is. We have to be better at discerning that. But just because you got hurt in the past when you allowed somebody else into your world doesn't mean you have to cut off receiving from everybody. It does not mean that you have to cut off receiving from everyone. Some of y'all look like a medieval castle. Your heart looks like a medieval castle. It's like behind this tall wall with a moat around it. And every now and again, you might let down the drawbridge, but for the most part, your heart is just blocked off. Now, while you're blocking people and other things from coming in, guess what? Nothing, your love can also no longer go out. You might feel safe, but nothing can come in. And at the same time, nothing is going out. You are literally cutting off the flow of energy to and through your heart and out of your heart as well. So some of you who are in the space where, love is a dark thing, it's because you are surrounded by tall walls that you built. And you waiting for Prince Charming or Superwoman to jump over that tall wall. And that will be their indication that they love you because they jumped over your tall wall. I don't know if that's a good strategy. How about we just be more discerning about who we allow the drawbridge down for? We don't want to cut off the light that is flowing to and through our heart because one or two or even three people hurt you in your past. Your mom, your dad, an ex, a best friend. Because three people hurt you in your past, you want to just cut off the flow of energy and the currency of energy of good and love in your entire life because three people hurt you in your past. Now, I know those people are close to you, and you're like, if somebody who says they love me can hurt me, then anybody can hurt me. So I understand your level of protection and your level of fear. but ultimately that ends up in a dark place. Love casts out fear. Okay. I know. Y'all didn't expect. I didn't expect that. So that's the message that's flowing through me right now. I hope that blesses somebody. If that blessed you, please type blessed. I just need to know when I go up on these asides. I just need to know if I'm still in alignment. You felt blessed by that, please let me know. I feel like I'm being led. So and my prayer every morning is to be in alignment. So if you felt blessed by that, just please let me know that we on the same page. It ain't on page 378, but we still on the same page. Y'all know what I'm saying? That ain't on page 378, but we still on the same page here, right? We still here. All right, good. Oh, God is good, y'all. God is good. Okay, we're in the middle of page 378. Back to what's actually on the page. We're going back to what's actually on the page right now. Paragraph 2. For the rich and righteous, giving is our default, and we don't receive for our own sake. We receive in order to give more. Okay? If you had more, you would give more, and that is precisely why you should have more. If you had more, you would give more, and that is precisely why you should have more. This is why I need you to be abundant. Jesus said, I am come that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Have life more abundantly, not heaven more abundantly, not death more abundantly, that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Receiving is a skill that has to be developed, but we are programmed to be self-sacrificial and independent. Programs such as every man for himself, or it's me against the world, or if you want something done, do it yourself, or pick yourself up by your own bootstraps, or if it's going to be, it's up to me, or survival of the fittest, or even the terminology single mom, all teach us that receiving is unlikely. I'm going to repeat those. How many of you are familiar with some of these quotes? Type familiar if you're familiar with some of these quotes. Every man for himself. It's me against the world. If you want something done, do it yourself. Pick yourself up by your own bootstraps. Or if it's going to be, it's up to me. Or survival of the fittest. Or even the term single mom. Y'all heard all those are programs. These quotes and these aphorisms, these are programs, family. And if you receive that program and you allow it to download as a software program into your subconscious mind, then you start operating from this place. I'll give you an example. I'll tell you like this. How many single moms I got out there? How many single moms I got out there? How many single moms out there? You want to know something crazy? I've never called myself a single dad. You notice you don't hear that terminology? I'm in my daughter's life. I'm in my daughter's life. But for some reason, even when the father is in the child's life, the mother can tend to call herself a single mom, but I, as a father, have never called myself a single dad. Because I know I'm not alone. I know she has a great mother. She has an amazing mother. I don't feel alone in this journey. We aren't together, but I'm not single. We are not together, but I'm not single. So where has this methodology of, or this language of single mom come to be? Single means solo, means I'm alone on this journey. Most single moms, the ones that I know, they are not alone. They have found a way to create family and community in other ways. You are a mom who is single. Single is a dating status. But when it's single mom, it says, I'm on this journey alone as a mother. No, you are a mom who is single, meaning that you don't have a romantic partner, but you are not a single mom. You are not out here doing it all by yourself. But that language pattern, I'm single mom, especially in communities of color, that terminology has just been, oh yeah, I'm a single mom. And people happily identify, yeah, I'm a single mom, and even wearing it as a badge of honor. You are a mom who is single. Single is a relationship status. It is not a permanent status of who you are. We know the power of I am. We know the power of I am. So stop affirming that I am single or I am alone. Because in most cases, you're not. Are there some moms who are actually single moms, meaning that they are doing it by themselves? They have no help whatsoever. Yes, there are a few of those. But by and large, there's nobody out here who's single. Nobody can get through this life by themselves. Single is a relationship status, okay? It is not a life status. So stop affirming that. I'm a mom who's single. I'm a mom who's single. I've never called myself a single dad. Never. Never. That terminology never crossed my lips until now. I never thought of myself as doing this parenting thing by myself. We know the power of language, family. We know the power of language. Okay? So, who are we trying to impress with our self-sacrifice? Who are we trying to impress with our self-sacrifice? What must be sacrificed is the belief that you have to and can do it all on your own without receiving. That's what must be sacrificed. If your well runs dry, so will your wellness and that of everyone you are pouring into. If your well runs dry, so will your wellness and that of everyone you are pouring into. What's that? Is that Boyz II Men song? Don't wait. Don't wait till the water runs dry and make the biggest mistake of our life. Is it? Ain't that how it go? I forgot. We don't even talking. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Don't wait till the water runs dry. Am I tripping? Is that Boyz II Men? All right, cool. Cool. Y'all with me? Cool. We're on the bottom of 378. Receiving an income is not just about money. It is all of the good coming into your life that you allow. God wants to pour into you in so many different ways, but you have to allow it. It's just like the faucet on your sink. The water is there. The water is there to come into your household, to wash your hands, to wash your face, to take a shower. The water is there. It's ready to rush in. But what do you have to do? You have to turn the faucet on. And it will come in to the degree that you turn the faucet on. If you only turn it on a little bit, only a little bit of water comes in. If you turn it on full way, then water comes rushing in. You, through your mind, control the faucet. You control the faucet. God can only give to you according to your ability to receive. If you approach God with the Dixie cup, then God will only pour in to the Dixie cup. If you approach God with a full bowl, then God will pour into the full bowl. If you approach God with a swimming pool, then God will pour into the swimming pool. Remember, God is the ocean. God is all. And we are drops in that ocean. And the thing about a drop in the ocean, as little gods, we have every element of the entire ocean inside of us. The only difference between us and God is magnitude. So our conscious mind gets to determine how much the faucet is turned on. And our limiting beliefs, our fears, our doubts, our worries, our lack of faith, those are the things that constrict the faucet from flowing. Our ability to receive constricts the faucet from flowing. So God can only give to you according to your ability to receive. And God gives to you through other people. God gives to you through other people. As children of God, we are here to serve our brothers and sisters who are also children of God. If you lose faith in people, then you lose the ability for the source to get resources to you. Because some of y'all have lost faith in people. I'm going to repeat that. If you lose faith in people because those 3 people hurt you in your life, now you want to attribute that to all 7 billion people. If you lose faith in people, then you lose the ability for the source, God, to get resources to you through other people. Because now you don't trust anybody. Now you don't trust anybody. And while you don't trust anybody, you're literally cutting off your ability to receive from other people because you don't trust anybody. I'm just going to handle this all on my own. I got it. Money is one way that we can receive, but our ability to receive transpires in every area of our life, whether it is our ability to receive love, praise, gifts, help, feedback, etc. For now, let's just focus on how you've been receiving money. Some of you, when you get affirmed or praised, you're like, oh, nah, stop talking about me like that. Nah, you gassing me up. Nah, don't listen to him. Don't listen to her. Nah, that ain't. Somebody's trying to praise you for how they see you from a God's eye view, and you reject it. You reject it. Nobody woke them up and said, oh, I gotta praise this person. Nobody, like, something came out of them and said, I just want to celebrate you right now in this moment. And in this false sense of humility, we reject it. When it's not something to reject if it's coming from a pure place and it's coming from a God's eye view. That's literally God showing you who you are through somebody else's perception, through another human being. They might not have been, it wasn't like a to-do list item for them. It was inspired. Okay. So we're on page 379, second paragraph. There are 3 types of buckets: a colander, a bucket, and a watering can. Which bucket do you think you will receive the most water? Which bucket do you think you will receive the most water? Which we are using as a metaphor for wealth. Which bucket will receive the most water? The colander, a bucket, or watering can? Which one? A colander has holes in it, right? A bucket is just a bucket and it holds water. And then a watering can is a bucket with a spout. Oh, some of y'all reading ahead, huh? Some of y'all reading ahead. Listen to this very carefully, family. The colander receives water, but no matter how much water the colander receives, it immediately unintentionally wastes it and it ends up empty. The bucket only receives water and has no way to give. So the cycle of giving and receiving is broken. The watering can has a receiving and giving function. It holds the water it receives temporarily, only to intentionally pour into and onto things the gardener seeks to grow. This balance allows the cycle of giving and receiving to continue indefinitely. The colander hates water. The bucket holds or hoards water, and the watering can helps water do what it was intended to do. When you think about how you relate to money right now, which bucket are you? Take a screenshot of this. Are you a colander that receives water and loses it? Are you a bucket that receives it only and holds it? Or are you a watering can that receives and gives? How, I know we all aspire to be here, but how do you relate to money right now, family? How do you relate to money right now? Let me know. Are you a colander, a bucket, or a watering can? Right now, let me know. Which one? Wow. We got a lot of colanders right now, and that's okay. That's what we're here to work on. We got mostly colanders and buckets right now. Okay? See, I hope you're able to see yourself. Now remember, water is a metaphor for wealth. Water is a metaphor for wealth right now, family. So you realize that if God gave you $1 million as a colander, what's going to happen? God gives you $1 million as a colander. What happens? You still end up empty. You still end up empty. No matter how much God pours into you, you still end up empty. Okay? We're at the top of page 380, 2 pages left. If you are a colander, first, you must stop all leaks. The colander can ask for more from God, but even if God pours the ocean into a colander, it will all leak out. Even if God pours the ocean into a colander, it will still all leak out. Luke 16:10 through 12 says, whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much. And whoever is dishonest with very little will also be dishonest with much. So if you have not been trustworthy in handling worldly wealth, who will trust you with true riches? And if you have not been trustworthy with someone else's property, who will give you property of your own? So you say you want to own real estate, but your apartment is a mess. You say you want a newer car, but you ain't taking your existing used old car in for a tune-up in a year. You say you want $1 million, but you haven't been a good steward over $10,000. So to reverse that, you honor and appreciate and become a good steward of that which you already have to demonstrate to God, to universal law, that yes, you can see that I'm doing well at managing this. I'm ready to receive more. Okay? Why would God give you more when you have not been a good steward of the little that you do have? Are you appreciating all that you have already received? Like the oxygen you are breathing right now, your eyes, your brain, your family, the roof over your head, the clothes in your closet, the money in your account, or the food you just ate. Have you appreciated those things? Many people think that once they get more money, they will automatically become a better steward, when the truth is that you must become a better steward of what you already have in order to have more money come to you. It's the reverse, family. I'm going to repeat that. Many people think that once they get more money, they will automatically become a better steward, when the truth is that you must become a better steward of what you already have in order to have more money come to you. The colander doesn't have a money problem. They have a money mindset and money management problem. Some beliefs are causing the leaks that they have to be plugged. Okay? Bottom of page 380. Once you stop the leaks, you become the bucket. But we are not meant to just hold and hoard water for our satisfaction and insecurity. Water is meant to be used. It serves no good purpose sitting in a bucket. You realize that money serves no good purpose sitting in a bank account, in the same way that water serves no good purpose just sitting in a bucket. It's just there. And in fact, it's evaporating. As your bucket fills according to your belief, you can begin to increase your bucket size, which is your receiving ability. If your cup runneth over, your cup is either too small to receive or you're not giving enough. The whole idea of a cup running over, that's waste. So that's supposed to be a temporary thing. If your cup is running over, it's either too small to receive, okay, or you're not giving enough. Water, energy, or money should not go to waste. You now have more than enough, and you are meant to give from your abundance. Remember that we are receiving to give, not just for the sake of receiving. We are increasing our capacity to do more good with what we have been given. Go bigger so that you can give bigger. Go bigger so that you can give bigger. The reason you may not be receiving more is because you have not used what you already have. We are not the storehouse. God is the storehouse. We are the servants of God and are supposed to use what we've been given to do more good and more God. You are not the storehouse, family, but yet many of you are hoarding thousands and thousands of dollars in a savings account that's yielding 0.03% interest and is enduring inflation. You are not the storehouse. Yes, have your emergency fund, whether that's 3-month emergency fund, a 6-month emergency fund. Have your emergency fund, but you are not the storehouse. You are a conductor. The energy is supposed to be transmitted and transmuted and directed through you. You are a conductor. You are not the storehouse. You are not the power plant. Last paragraph on page 381. Now that your bucket is full, you can begin giving like a watering can. But we only want to give, listen very carefully. We only want to give proportionally to our level of receiving. We only want to give proportionally to our level of receiving. You are never meant to be empty, whether it is from being a colander or because of overgiving. It is impossible to break the universal law of giving and receiving without creating an imbalance somewhere else. If you overgive, it may manifest physically as health issues or financially as debt. So again, some of you think it's noble to overgive and to be self-sacrificing. And you think, oh, I got this, right? It's the God in me. But when you overgive and you do not receive according to your level of giving, it will manifest somewhere else in your life. This is why some overgivers, you're having financial challenges, even though everybody thinks you're abundant because you overgive, but you're having financial challenges or you're having health challenges. It's going to take from somewhere. You cannot break the universal law. The energy must come from somewhere. So for those of you who are sick right now, it's really God saying, sit your ass down. You've been doing too much. So you need to rest. Since you won't receive rest, since you won't do any self-care, I'm going to just have to do it for you. I'm going to have to do it for you. You weren't listening to me. You weren't seeing the signs. Your skin was breaking out. You were having breathing issues. You blanked out the other day. You weren't seeing the signs. I was just trying to nudge you to go do some self-care, right? Pour into yourself, receive so that you could keep on giving, but you didn't want to listen. So, boop, I'm going to just lay you on your back. You're not dead, but I'm going to lay you on your back with this whatever kind of sickness. You got to listen to your body, fam. God is speaking to us in so many ways. You got to listen to your body. If you overgive, it may manifest physically as health issues or financially as debt. In accounting, on any general ledger, the debits must match the credits. On any general ledger, the debits must match the credits. Energy will pull from somewhere else, just like electrons. As the watering can, the cycle of giving and receiving continues. Substance is circulating to you and through you with a purpose. The substance is not yours. The money is not yours. I don't perceive any money that I have as mine. I do not see this as mine. This is all God's money. Every dollar that has ever come to me or through me is not mine. It is God's. It is stored energy that I was given to transmute, to use for good and God. Transmute it to ideals, ideas, individuals, institutions, and investments that I believe are doing good or God's work. This is not mine. The money is not yours. Oh, that's my money. No, it's not. It will not go with you when you transition. It's not your money. Your name is not on it. Show me where your name is on it. Is anybody here is anybody here named 100? Is anybody here named is anybody here named 100? Anybody here named Dollar? Now I know there's some signatures on here. Is anybody here named Federal? Anybody here named Federal? Any Federals in the building? Anybody here named Independence? Independence Hall? Anybody here named Independence Hall? Your name is not on here, family. Your name is not on here. It's not yours. The substance is not yours, but you get to be a steward of it and use it to manifest by pouring it into and onto seeds you want to see grow that you believe will bear good fruit. While doing good in God's work, you must maintain the balance of giving and receiving, working and resting, eating and fasting, teaching and learning, leading and following, loving and being loved, paying and getting paid. This is how we create har hyphen money with money. Everybody type har hyphen money. HR hyphen money. We are trying to create harmony with money. Everybody type har HAR hyphen MONEY. Harmony. We're trying to create harmony with money. A lot of us are out of harmony with money right now. We're trying to create harmony with money where we're in sync with this energy. I'm going to repeat this last sentence because remember, receiving is not just money. Listen to this. Okay? This is the law of polarity. Okay? My lady's favorite law. While doing good in God's work, you must maintain the balance of giving and receiving, working and resting, eating, taking in energy, and fasting, teaching and learning. You see, one is giving, one is receiving, leading and following, falling back, loving and being loved, paying and getting paid. We have to maintain the balance. So again, it's not just about giving and receiving with money. It's giving and receiving in all these different ways. This is how we create harmony with money. That is it, family. That is it. Receiving is a skill. Right now, some of you have a strong giving muscle, but you're out of balance because your receiving muscle is atrophied. They're not balanced. Okay. Now, when this muscle gets stronger, your receiving muscle gets stronger, and there's more balance, you'll be able to lift more. You'll be able to give more. You'll be able to give more when your receiving muscle is just as strong as your natural giving muscle. Yeah, I need you to be a little bit ambidextrous. You know, many of you write with your right hand. You just started out doing that, but I actually need you to work on the other hand so that there's balance. Otherwise, this hand is going to get arthritis, right? While this hand was atrophied because it wasn't used. You know what I did? This is a challenge for all of you. Here's a challenge for all of you. A physical challenge. You want to hear a physical challenge for giving and receiving, for creating balance in your life? I want to share something with you. Y'all want to hear this challenge? How many of you accept the challenge before I even tell you? How many of you even accept the challenge? I see, babe. You already know. You ready? Here's your balance challenge. I need you to start brushing your teeth with the opposite hand. I need you to start brushing your teeth with your opposite hand. You write with your right hand, you brush your teeth with your right hand, you flip pancakes with your right hand. What about this hand over here? What about this hand over here? Why can't you just learn and train this hand? Now, when you first do it, it's gonna be awkward. You're gonna be like, you'll be like, oh, that's easy, Jullien. But what when you start doing it, you're gonna be like, okay. But literally just a week or 2 weeks, you'd be like, oh, I got this. I got this. Now you're creating balance. You're giving this hand some relief. You're creating more balance. Just because you started with this one, just because you are by default a giver, doesn't mean you can't develop your receiving skill set. Just because you are a default writer or you brush your teeth with this hand doesn't mean that you can't develop with this hand. It's going to feel awkward at first. It is a perfect metaphor for what you have to do with your receiving muscle. It's going to feel awkward at first, but over time, you're going to get better and you're going to be able to get in those nooks and crannies easily. You're going to have more control over this left hand, and you'll have created balance in your body. You understand? So if you haven't brushed your teeth this morning, because you knew you was going to be on a computer screen and nobody's going to be able to smell your breath, I encourage you to go brush your teeth with your opposite hand. And why not just do it for the rest of your life? You put so much stress on your strong hand. You put so much stress on your strong hand. Why not just commit to the opposite hand just for that one activity for the rest of your life? Just do that. And let's see. All right. All right, y'all. I love y'all. It's Thursday. We'll be back here tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are moving into commandment number 10, the last commandment, how the rich and righteous enjoy money and wealth. And we will be reading the section, forgive ourselves of our debts. Forgive ourselves of our debts. That's 6 pages. Yo, how many more pages do we have? Are there? Yeah, that's 6 pages. All right. So I will see you all tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Get out of here. Go brush your teeth, y'all. Go brush your teeth. Love y'all. Peace.